What if I told you the way the rich live is completely different from what you think? It's not about fancy cars or private jets. Those are just byproducts. The real secrets are hidden in their daily habits, mindsets, and actions that most people overlook. In fact, research shows that 90% of self-made millionaires did not inherit their wealth. They created it by thinking differently. A study by Thomas Stanley, author of the Millionaire Next Door, revealed that 68% of wealthy people grew their money through investments, not through salaries. So, how do they do it? How do they disappear from the ordinary and reinvent themselves again and again? In this video, we're going to uncover the shocking truth behind how the rich think, live, and transform themselves. You'll discover strategies that don't just make them wealthy, but keep them ahead of the game, no matter how the world changes. Ready to learn the unseen habits and tricks the rich use to disappear from the crowd and become something bigger? Stick around, because what you'll discover might just change the way you see success forever. Chapter 1. Vanishing Act. How the rich disappear from the ordinary. The wealthiest people don't blend in. They've mastered the art of disappearing from the everyday noise, choosing instead to focus on what really matters. This might sound strange, but it's a core strategy. When you're always surrounded by distractions, it's hard to think big. Billionaire Elon Musk has said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." And to create, sometimes you need silence. In fact, studies show that the most successful people spend 60% more time alone than the average person. They don't just escape the crowd, they disappear from conventional thinking. They isolate themselves to spark creativity. Take Warren Buffett, for example. He spends about 80% of his day reading and thinking alone. When he's not reading, he's reflecting. This isn't just about relaxing, it's about generating new ideas and recalibrating your strategy. The wealthiest don't let others define their timeline. They create their own rhythm, one that is centered around deep thought and deliberate action. The richest people know, disappearing from the world is the first step toward transforming yourself. Chapter 2. The Invisible Hand. How the rich shape reality without being seen. The rich often shape the world from the shadows. Their influence doesn't always come through public speeches or flashy advertisements. Instead, they build quiet, powerful networks behind the scenes. Think about it. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have to convince you to use Facebook. He's already built a global network that keeps growing on its own. According to a report from WealthX, 67% of wealthy individuals' wealth is tied to their private investments and connections, things you don't see. Billionaire investor Ray Dalio has said, "Understanding how the system works is the key to success." And that's exactly what the wealthy do. They understand systems, they leverage networks, and they move quietly within them. It's not about being seen, it's about being effective. So, while many chase visibility, the rich focus on making their influence felt, even when no one's watching. The real power is in the quiet action, behind closed doors. Chapter 3. The Phantom Mindset. Unmasking the thoughts of millionaires. What sets the wealthy apart? It's not just the money, it's the way they think. They view failure not as an end, but as an opportunity to grow. They understand that success is a result of countless small decisions, not one big leap. Bill Gates once said, "It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure." Wealthy people adopt a mindset that keeps them moving forward, no matter the obstacle. Research shows that the wealthiest individuals are 3 times more likely to take calculated risks compared to the general population. They don't fear failure, they use it as feedback. What separates them from others is their ability to remain patient and persistent. They think long-term, investing years into projects that will eventually pay off. Successful individuals often keep journals to track their thoughts, goals, and reflections. This consistent review of their own mindset helps them stay sharp and constantly evolving. If you're enjoying this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more insights about the habits that lead to success. Chapter 4. Money is just a byproduct. What the rich really invest in. The wealthy don't just invest in stocks and real estate, they invest in themselves. The richest people spend a disproportionate amount of time learning and evolving. Oprah Winfrey has said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." But for Oprah, that meant investing deeply in her personal growth and knowledge. It's reported that successful entrepreneurs read, on average, 60 books a year, while the average American reads less than 10. Richard Branson believes the best investment you can make is in your own education. He famously said, "The more you read, the more you'll know. The more you know, the more you'll grow." This habit of constant learning is a key to their transformation. But it's not just books, they invest in relationships, experiences, and knowledge that aren't always visible. They understand that intangible assets often lead to the most valuable returns. Chapter 5. The Hidden Teachers, How the Rich Learn by Teaching. The wealthiest people don't just accumulate knowledge, they pass it on. Sharing knowledge is one of the richest forms of learning. Bill Gates is known for his extensive philanthropic work, but what many don't realize is that his giving isn't just charity, it's a method of personal growth. He learns by teaching. Research from the University of Texas suggests that teaching others strengthens the brain's ability to recall and understand information. When you teach, you reinforce your own learning. Many of the world's wealthiest individuals, like Warren Buffett, actively mentor others. They believe that by sharing their wisdom, they gain new insights and refine their own strategies. Teaching, for them, is not just an act of giving, it's a critical step in their own journey of transformation. As Buffett says, "The more you learn, the more you earn." Chapter 6. Rebirth. How the rich are always reinventing themselves. Wealthy individuals understand that transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process. They are always looking for ways to evolve, adapt, and reinvent themselves. This mindset allows them to stay ahead of the curve. Jeff Bezos didn't just build Amazon, he continually reinvents it. From books to cloud computing to AI, Bezos always focuses on what's next. In fact, studies show that 78% of millionaires report reinventing themselves multiple times throughout their lives. Whether it's a new career, a business venture, or a personal reinvention, they understand that being static means being left behind. Successful people embrace change as an opportunity, not a threat. They're always looking for ways to pivot, whether it's moving into a new industry or mastering a new skill. It's no wonder that the richest people tend to stay rich, they never stop transforming. Before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay updated on more transformative habits that will help you take your life and career to the next level. In conclusion, the journey to transforming yourself into the person you want to be requires focus, patience, and, most importantly, the willingness to reinvent yourself. The richest people have mastered this art, disappearing from the ordinary to create their own extraordinary lives. They leverage their mindset, networks, and continuous learning to stay ahead of the pack. So, if you want to follow in their footsteps, remember, the path to wealth is less about accumulating money and more about mastering yourself.